That's an Iranian drone hitting a high-rise apartment in Bahrain over the weekend. Iran striking targets from Cyprus in the Mediterranean to Dubai. Now, the State Department tonight warning U.S. citizens in 14 area countries to leave now, including from Jordan, where the American embassy was evacuated earlier tonight.
We've heard about U.S. escalation. That's what President Trump is talking about. What exactly does that mean?
That's a great question, Alex. So one of the possibilities in the extreme sense would, of course, be ground troops. And up until this point, at least, the president has said that no ground troops will be part of this mission. That is probably not going to be something that will happen in the immediate future, though, in my assessment. I think what will happen in terms of the military campaign going forward is you're going to see more intense airstrikes. So Iran has been struck, obviously, quite a bit by both Israeli and U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy assets. But what they need to do if they're going to go after certain elements, such as the nuclear area, is they're going to have to go after some of the more hardened and deeply buried installations. And there is one that actually was not struck in June when they did this with the B-2 bombers. That's a site that is south of Natanz. It's called Pickaxe Mountain, and that particular place is very much underground, and it is reputed to have a large portion of Iran's nuclear weapons program. The nuclear research effort is reputed to be there. So that would be one possible target area that they could go after. Another thing, of course, was mentioned earlier by Secretary of State Rubio, and that would be to go in and take care of the ballistic missile issue. And he specifically looked at that as being part of the next phase of things. So it looks to me like what they will probably do is they'll probably concentrate on either one of those areas, the nuclear part or the ballistic missile part. And I would bet that they would first go for the ballistic missile part because the Israelis are very much concerned about that.
What do you make of Iran's response so far? And what do we know in terms of the capability that they have left after all this bombardment from the U.S. and Israel?
Yeah, so one of the things that they're going to have to assess, I think, reassess in the intelligence community on our side of this is what Iran actually is capable of doing. So it looks like the Iranians have somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 of their shorter range missiles, perhaps even more of those. And that's a fairly significant number. And as long as they have the launch capability, that is going to make it a critical part of any mission to, in essence, mop up those kinds of missile capabilities. So when you look at what they've got left, they've got somewhere along that line in the short range area, in the intermediate range area, area. They probably have a few thousand as well, a few thousand missiles that could be launched. And now they do have some difficulty getting these launches off undetected, but they have a sufficient enough capability both with their missiles and their drones that they can cause considerable damage, such as attacking the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, for example, or some of the other targets that they've taken care of in other parts of Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, in Bahrain, and of course in Kuwait as well.
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角 ，KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。